You're now listening to Chaos Culture Radio. I'll be your host, Hakeem Bello. You can catch us on themediabums.com. For you fools who don't listen, THEMEDIABUMS.com. I came to give you life, culture, and tell you how to grow your money tree and everything else. Holla at me. Welcome to Chaos Culture Radio.
Hey, we back again. We back again to bring all that flavor, that sauce. You already know. Episode 6. What's good, Hakeem Bello?
You already know I'm here vibing and styling, wilding and shiling. You know what I mean? I'm styling on you. Styling on you pussies.
Feels good to be back another week, you know, coming again and just sharing what's on our minds and our hearts. So I guess we're going to just get straight into it. Today's topic is, what does it mean to be successful in 2018? Mm-hmm. So we're talking about personal success. We're speaking on personal success. Yep. You want to go ahead and start this off a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Now, people, success can mean a bunch of different things. I guess, you know what I mean? I guess this is just maybe a question to everybody. What does success mean to you? But for us, or for me personally, success to me means a number of different things. And what success means to people who you care about. You know what I mean? So for me, I've always thought accomplishing a task was being successful. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And not trying to equate or align your success with other people, because sometimes that'll overshadow your success. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You start to, a negative thing will come behind that if you start to think about other people's success if you don't focus on yours.
Right.
Especially in my community, which I can only talk about my community, because I don't know about everybody else's. I might see y'all, but I'm on the outside looking in. I can give you certain examples. Growing up, you know what I mean? Because I come from a very impoverished neighborhood. You know what I mean? I might call it an ethnic enclave. You know what I mean? A slum, hellhole. So, when I graduated high school, graduation was a success for most people in the ghetto.
Right, yep.
You know what I mean? Or getting a good job at a notable company, in, you know what I'm saying? So I done did all that. So there was so many different accolades that I done succeed in so many things that I could say I'm successful here. You know what I mean? I'm knowledgeable. You know what I mean? So it all depends on how you define it.
Right. For sure. And I feel like it's cool that you mentioned like your progress and how you feel like certain moments in your life highlighted your success, you know, you being successful in those different moments. Because, I think that success is a path, you know, it's a continual path. And really there is no end. You can continue to grow and be successful in different areas of your life and at different points in your life. Like, I totally agree. Like, looking back, graduating high school was a huge achievement and success. You know, because it's like, you know, when you're kind of coming up in a society where it's like you're expected to fail, or you're expected to be pregnant by a certain age, or you're expected to just not achieve to nothing, like going to high school, getting that high school diploma is a huge success. For me, you know, we took it a step further, obviously going to college, first of all, applying for college, getting into a college, right? Like, for me, I didn't even know what college I wanted to go to. Mm-hmm. But somehow I was able to figure out my situation, get into a college. Now, mind you, I went to a private art high school. So I did get a good education. I was lucky enough to get a very good education. You know, I graduated with a class of 80 students. So we really got an opportunity to get that hands-on experience, you know what I'm saying, from our teachers. We weren't just like another student in the classroom. Each kid was like really like focused on, and they were able to learn their skills and achieve, you know. So I did kind of have that background, but then like I wasn't even thinking about college, you know what I'm saying? But once it was all, you know, time for it to happen and everybody else was applying, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm about to get on that. just get myself into a school, and then like to get into a school, I was able to get like a really small scholarship. I didn't get a crazy scholarship because, like I said, it wasn't in my plans. But once I got into that school, crazy enough, somehow I finagled my way through it, and I was able to graduate on time. And I also see that as a huge success as well. You know what I'm saying, in my path. But I will say that I think that I'm addicted to succeeding. I think like...
Oh, ain't we all?
You can never succeed too much. You can never have too many wins, you know?
Oh, all we strive for is wins. You know what I mean? And this is just a PSA for a lot of you suckers who sitting on the couch, or you might ride in a bus, or you at work. And I'm just only going to say this. You have small success, you have big success.
Right.
Don't feel bad.
Right.
Just try to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you this from a person who has so many shortcomings that I still plow through and still going. You know what I mean? Like a couple years ago, me and my cousin here, we started a t-shirt company. Mm-hmm. That was successful.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about which people at that time wasn't even knowing how to work the machines.
Right. We
figured it out, and we're still succeeding. Just accomplishing a goal is success.
Right.
That's why people fail to understand. Baby steps you take are successful. You know what I mean? I'll give you another example. So there was this girl who, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm still at the plantation. I'm still working, people. Let's not get it twisted. Until y'all start getting this podcast popping, I can stop working.
Right.
And we could take care of y'all. But there was a young lady I met who I work with, and she was just... expressed it to me how, you know what I mean, she felt so proud of herself getting this job that we worked. Now, mind you, I didn't think it was nothing. Right. I thought it was just a regular...
Right. Just something to get into.
Something to get to, but she felt like she succeeded, and her daughter felt like she succeeded. This was somebody young, so this is why I say... we have to define our own success. You getting a job at McDonald's, that might be success to you.
Right.
We can't clown you for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta, if that's your success, and that's how you do it. If you want to scale up after that, that's on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna knock your success.
Right.
You can't knock our success.
Right. Yeah, so to piggyback off of what he's saying, it's like what it means to be successful is something that you have to define for yourself. You have to figure out, okay, what goals or things have I set in front of myself that I have accomplished? Like you're saying with your coworker,
mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know this girl personally. I don't know what her story is, but if just getting into that step and accomplishing and putting herself out there, you know, where she's getting a chance to finally make money, provide for herself, provide for her family, that's a huge success. I remember hearing about this story years ago. It was on Oprah about this filmmaker. Oh man, I wish I could remember the films that he made. But he's a huge, big Hollywood filmmaker. And he was talking about how he realized, even with all the success he had, he still hadn't defined success for himself. So crazy thing is, this man, to him, success was being at the ultimate height in Hollywood as a director, right? Which means having the top movies, getting the big houses, marrying the woman of his dreams, blah, 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 right? So, in his story, he was saying how he had achieved all this stuff, and forgive me, I don't remember this guy's name, but what I wanted to relate to you guys is the actual moral of the story. So, he had achieved all of this success in his life. He said, at some point, you know, he was moving into that big house, had the cars and all the beautiful lavish furniture and all the fixes. And he said once his movers left the house and closed the door, he looking around and he said, you know what, at that moment he felt very, very, very empty. He was like, damn, I did all this stuff and I have what people would deem to be successful. I've done all of these things that people would deem to be successful, but I feel very empty. So throughout the you know, his story, just to kind of like bring it to a head, he had this huge epiphany. He had an accident, right? After he had this accident, he ended up being in the hospital. And when he was in the hospital, he ended up having this huge revelation. Because he got into a car accident and went through some stuff. So, but in his revelation, he realized he had been chasing somebody's ideal of success. So by the time he had rehabilitated, got out of hospital, he actually decided to downsize. He said he sold one of his houses because he had like 3 houses. He had jets, he had all stuff. He said he sold a couple of his houses. He decided to downsize to the point where all he had to do was ride a bike to work. That's how much he had downsized. But he had went through this whole journey spiritually where he realized, like, yo, I need to figure out what makes me happy. That's gonna define my success for me. And I saw this story like maybe 5 years ago, and that never left my mind because it was that powerful. So going back to us realizing, like, for me, what's a success for me is like you were saying, setting certain goals. So like I told y'all before, I'm an artist. You know, I have a lot of different ventures I'm involved in. Me and my cousin have done a lot of different ventures. Even creating this podcast, to be really honest with you, creating this podcast itself is a success. We had the idea. My cousin had the idea. He said, yo, we should do this podcast, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, yo, we got the equipment. Let's make it happen. So, and from us making this podcast, it's already inspired us and just evolved us in a way that it's like, okay, just showing us what we're capable of. Like, anything we put our minds to, we can do. And I feel like we're successful with just this project alone, you know?
Facts. But here's another thing that I also want to point out to a lot of you people who might get stuff misconstrued. I'm not picking on nobody, and I'm not personally attacking people. When we talking about success, we talking about people who put in the work.
Right.
Definitely. You can't say, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, you built a studio, that is successful.
Right.
But if you don't do nothing with the studio, now you're wasting time. So this is another point I want to try to say to people is, as far as success or imagining success or visualizing it, you have to put in the work.
Right.
You have to go after it. You have to chase it. You have to dream it. You have to sleep it, drink it. You know what I mean? In that in the moment, once you embody in it, you will have no choice but to succeed. You know what I mean? So for a lot of people who got cameras, who have studios and not doing nothing with it, you can't be successful. You can wake up, produce a song, take some pictures, and succeed that day.
Right.
But you have to get the motivation, and you have to get the mindset, and you have to understand what success means. You know what I mean? Actually go in, read the dictionary term of it, and embody it. Or look at simple people in your life who are doing things. And mind you, I'm going to tell you something. Do not look at Beyonce, Jay-Z, or any of these people we see on the top screen. They are successful, but that's on another realm. Look at the small people first.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they'll give you a better reachable goal, an attainable goal. And then from there, you scale up. Right.
And I mean, really to add to, in like, you know, in a spiritual sense, we're successful just for existing. You know, like, I realized, you know, in my journey with, you know, getting closer to God and just learning myself and learning about my blessings and learning about my gift, I realized at one point, yo, you honestly don't have to do anything. If you are living and breathing honestly to the purest form, you are a success. You're successful because you woke up this morning. That's what makes you successful. If you get out of bed, you're successful because you got out of bed. Because sometimes, you know, people deal with depression, they deal with different things. And some days, listen, people don't even feel motivated. They don't even feel like, yo, I can get out of bed. And sometimes, like you said, it's the small things, right? So, like, literally getting out of bed today and choosing to be happy can be a success. Getting out of bed today and saying, you know what? I'm going to finally read that book I've been trying to read. That's a success. You know what I mean? Or getting out of bed today and saying, hey, I'm going to finally do that diet. Or I'm going to finally get on the treadmill. Or I'm going to finally call my aunt I haven't spoken to in a long time. Or I'm going to finally reach out to my dad who I haven't spoken to. Success can really be these small things of just taking the courage or having the courage to take that first step. And if you take that first step, then you already beat half of the battle. Because guess what? They say your biggest enemy is yourself, right? Your first enemy is yourself. But you can also be your first motivator. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it really comes down to, again, having the courage to take the step to step into your own greatness, to even believe in yourself, believe in your ideas. You know what I mean? Even you might say, yo, my goal is to get back into school. Even if you just do the application, that's a success. You know, so like you said, it's all about counting those small wins and the big ones. It's not just about, oh, big wins, big wins, big wins. Again, it's not about looking at your favorite celebrities. We can look at them as inspiration, but you know, you have people around you in your everyday life, whether it's your kids, whether it's your loved ones, that they can also be a reflection of success to you too, and show you like, yo, like my mom, for example, we were talking about this earlier. She works her behind off. You know what I'm saying? When I look at her, to me, she's the ultimate goal of success. She sets the standard by her example. So therefore, as her kids, or as her daughter, I feel like she's successful because I'm a success. She allows me to see her success. So, yeah, what you want to add to that, though?
No, definitely. And one thing is, I want to give a quote that Woody Allen said, and this was in the 80s. Showing up is 80% of life. Just like succeeding or accomplishing something is 80% of it is just showing up.
Right.
That's all it takes is a little bit of effort. And I have to pay homage to a good friend of mine who I am really proud of, and I hope he hears this and he understands this. I have a friend who is a person who worked a regular job for a long time.
Right.
He came up with an idea to start his own men's care company. You know what I'm saying? Saved his money. Took him 2 years, and that's another thing people don't understand. Success can take long, or it could take a short point of time. But the point of the fact is, I'm seeing the end result now. You know what I'm trying to say? And all he did was just did the necessary steps. So people, you got an idea, man. You got a dream, even if it seems very far-fetched, or even if it seems irrational or erratical, you still gotta chase it. Because you want to know something? Chasing it is succeeding. You know what I'm trying to say? Me doing this podcast was an uncomfortable thing, to get out my shell and go out here and speak to people who, I don't know where this might end up, but I felt relief and I felt some sort of accomplishment doing this. You know what I'm saying? So that's my definition of success. And there's a bunch of other things that we're going to try to do, because at the end of the day, before we die, all of us need to leave on empty. Make sure your tank is empty. Just like if you riding around, burn that gas down to the last drop where that shit clunk, and you got to go out and fill it up with gas again.
Right.
To go out there and chase life.
Right. And I just to add to that too, I feel like, you know, in order to chase your dreams or to succeed in that sense of going to achieve that goal, like you said, it's like it still requires you to have hard work. Like this past weekend, you know, I do a lot of gigs. I got more jobs than a Jamaican, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I was like, man, I gotta get a little extra change in my pocket. So I went and did a job I didn't necessarily want to do, you know, and it wasn't a terrible job. But the point is that I succeeded. I could have woke up that day and been like, you know what? I ain't feeling this. I ain't gonna go in. I'm not gonna do it. Because I do have anxiety. Sometimes I deal with anxiety. But I knew that I just needed to overcome. Despite the doubt that was coming through my mind and my anxiety, I was like, I'm just gonna get ready, do what I have to do. And guess what? I made it to the other end of it. Now I can look past that and be like, you know what? I succeeded at getting that goal accomplished. And now I got my little paycheck coming in. So to tell you that, you know, succeeding does take you to actually take action. Like I said earlier, we could simply be successful just because we are. But if we're talking about actual goals and having dreams and just having things that we want to accomplish, whether it's getting that new car or getting that degree or, you know, having the ideal relationship or blah, blah, blah.
You gotta keep, chick.
You know what I'm saying? You have to keep working towards it and keep working on yourself. And eventually, guess what? Some goals you can achieve right away. And some goals it's going to take a little more effort. But know that it is possible. Because I can honestly speak to it personally, I have a lot of other goals that I've set that I have been successful in, but those goals are still, I'm still reaching different heights and building up the levels of success, you know, to that ladder of success. It's not just a stopping point. Like I said, it's more of a journey. So, you know, that's what I want to leave with y'all. You know, it's a journey. So embrace the journey of becoming successful.
Basically. And I'm just saying, and this is a question that I would love for y'all to ask us and comment, people. Comment on the YouTube, comment on the SoundCloud, and on all the platforms that it says, so we can know, and maybe we could do a follow-up on this and talk about what was the answers of what success is to you, and tell us some of your stories.
Yes. The other thing is too, if you guys have any topics you want us to speak on or that you're passionate about, again, please drop a link, drop a comment. Like you said, drop those questions, leave your name,
topics, if you stuff you want us to talk about, and we'll go and
you can put down alias. You ain't got to put your government name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just want to be able to.
You know what I mean? But if you want to get some credit, money, you got to give us something.
Yeah.
So we signing off.
We signing off once again.
Chaos Culture Radio.
Peace and love, y'all.
Love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all. Love y'all. Man, I just appreciate y'all just listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.